the work that I started to do for Invisible Men, which is my book on the topic, it started with an empirical observation. My colleague Brian Sykes, who's at the University of California, Irvine, and I were trying to estimate what was the lifetime risk of spending a year in prison for people in different socio-demographic groups, say for white men who've graduated from college versus black men who've dropped out of high school. And what we found was that more black men had gone to prison or jail, or prison, just a year in prison, more black men had gone to prison than were alive. And this raised a fundamental puzzle, which is where were they? We were using all federal data sources to try and estimate what were the risks of lifetime risks of imprisonment. And the observation was that our national data systems and the social facts they produce are based on a normative kind of economic and domestic life, one which categorically excludes inmates who don't live in households by definition. They live in prisons and jails. And so when you hear the unemployment rate is 5.4%, those data come from a survey called the Current Population Survey, which started in 1939 as a sample survey of unemployment. In 1942, it became the Current Population Survey. And it's conducted monthly, and it's used as a barometer for unemployment, for high school completion, for high school dropout, for voter turnout. And those data don't include the most disadvantaged segments of the population. Certainly at different points in American history, different subgroups were excluded, but mass incarceration has created the systematic exclusion of primarily young African American men with low levels of formal education.